welcome to this week's episode of Happily Ever Caffeinated, your weekly wedding video series where we get stupid high on coffee and talk about weddings. I am your host, Pavel Stehlik, co-founder of FotoBoho, and I'm here today with Corey from Sparrow Sparkling Sodas. Say that 5 times fast.
Corey from Sparrow Sparkling Sodas. Corey from Sparrow Sparkling Sodas.
Very nice. And we are going to be talking about adding a little sparkle to your reception with sparkling sodas. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
So hi.
Hi.
So you do like sodas and stuff.
Yes, I do.
How did you come up with this idea?
Okay, so let's see. Where do I start at? Okay, so I actually was part of another business. It was a coffee business.
Oh, okay.
And while
coffee business.
Yes, right.
I'm listening.
While we were doing that, we kind of, got together and we said, well, what is something different that we could bring? And so I kind of did a lot of research and started looking into carbonating coffee. So like the process of like cold brew, but doing it with coffee instead. So kind of creating like a coffee soda. We called it Coffee Pop. So I kind of created the product. I was part of the business, and then my business partner and we kind of just had different ideas about the direction of the business, and he owned the business, so he kind of took over, and then we kind of separated.
He gave you your freedom.
Basically.
Okay.
So while I was doing that, I had a lot of people that asked me, that said, "Hey, you should get into sodas. You should do sodas." The process that I did with the coffee company of making like the simple syrups, of kind of that whole like carbonating it was very experimental, it was really, really fun. So after I did that, I kind of went back to work, and then I kind of started thinking, well, maybe I should get into sodas.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that all kind of came from.
So you make your syrups?
Yes, I do. Everything I make from scratch.
So do you like harvest blueberries? Do you wake up early in the morning, go outside and harvest blueberries, and then concentrate them? Is that
Somebody harvests them somewhere.
There's a process, and then you get the blueberries.
Yes.
And then, okay.
Yes.
And so you get to experiment with flavor profiles, and
yes.
Do you have your favorites that you stick to, or are you still constantly evolving and experimenting?
So, well, yes to both of those.
Okay.
So there are certain flavors that have become staple flavors, such as like the blueberry lavender.
That's the one that I had.
That one was my mother's idea.
I love it. Thanks, Mom. It was good.
Yes, Mom, thanks.
Yeah.
There's a multi-root beer one that I have that has like 8 different ingredients in it. And that one was difficult because everybody kept on telling me to do a root beer, and I never enjoyed a root beer ever.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like...
Sassafras.
Yes, right? There's like sassafras, sarsaparilla, and all these other ingredients in it. So I had to kind of create something, kind of develop something that I would enjoy. The big thing about soaps, if I don't like the taste of it, I won't sell it.
Yeah.
You
have to enjoy
I have to
product.
enjoy it. Even if it's not something that I would drink all the time, at least if I like the flavor profile of it, then I'll sell it. Yeah.
And so, Sparrows sparkling? What do birds have to do with sparkling soda?
Nothing. So actually, my daughter, who is 2.5 right now, her name is Sparrow. So I named the business after her.
Nice. Does that mean she gets to drink for free?
She does, but I won't be giving her any because...
A little young.
A little young.
A little young for that.
A little bit here
Just
and there.
Yeah. Just rub it on the gums.
Mm-hmm.
She probably has teeth. Yes. I don't know ages.
She's 2, and she talks like she's 5, sometimes like she's 15, depending.
Good luck.
Yes, thanks.
That's awesome.
I love her though.
So how do you imagine this interfacing with weddings? Like, I love that idea that becoming a part of your wedding day.
Yes. Okay. So a lot of times at your like typical wedding, you'll have you'll have like a lot of bars go, but you got to think about like a large percentage of people that go to weddings don't necessarily drink. Maybe they're kids, they're younger.
Yeah.
Maybe your friends may designated driver. You have somebody who's pregnant. You have older generation. You have a lot of times you have very conservative
right.
people that just don't like. See myself, like I don't drink a lot.
Right.
I'll go to a bar. I'll have like a drink or two. I've never been drunk or anything.
Right.
So this is also kind of where that idea came from, was what is something that we could, I could create to kind of hit like all of these different, as well as the people that do drink, because the sodas can be mixed with liquor.
Set it next to the bar and do a little, have it nice and easy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Another cool thing about it is, and you probably saw this, was that with the setup, it almost has that like bar, like cocktail vibe, and that's really the whole idea of it, is that when I set up that, I have like my taps on the side, I have like kegs, which are, carbonated water, and then, or sometimes I'll put like one of the sodas, already mixed on tap, and then I'll have like a whole, like, basically like a cocktail almost set up where I'm actually making and crafting the drink with the syrups in front of you, in front of the people, so that the sodas are kind of being made
Craft soda.
Yes.
That's cool.
Thanks.
And can the bride pick from your menu of sodas and say, okay, I want the blueberry lavender and the pumpkin spice, and like, can they pick in advance which flavors they want?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if they're having a fall wedding, then they can do a pumpkin spice thing, and then
And there's also other flavors that we can do that may not be listed, or if the bride and groom come to us and say, hey, we want to try this flavor, I have some stipulations, as long as I don't have to use any like flavorings. So
fake products.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I can't think of something like, someone's like, I want a cotton candy, flavor. They have it, or bubblegum. If I can figure out a way to make a flavor naturally, because everything is organic cane sugar, and I only use real ingredients. Or like a pure extract that can't have any flavorings, and I won't use it.
Right.
So if I can figure out with real ingredients how to create that item, that flavor, then I will. If not, then I have to get away from it.
Which is huge, because honestly, I don't really drink soda very much, because you hear about sodas like the dirty word. Like, there's so many chemicals and stuff, and like they tell you what you can bleach with your can of Coke and all of that stuff. It's very, very scary. So that's what really attracted me to your sodas, was it's a soda that I can drink.
Exactly.
And it's healthy and it's good for you. It's basically a health cocktail. We're being very healthy people.
Yes.
Disregard the amount of sugar that's in it. Let's just not focus on that.
Less than the normal amount of soda, though.
Exactly, because you don't have a bunch of other stuff that you're overcompensating. You've got the natural flavorings that bring out the natural sweetnesses.
Yes.
So nicely done. I'm so happy that you exist and that you're in this market.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to work with you. Let's have a wedding together soon.
Let's do it.
Then I'll be coming up to you through the wedding, like, hit me with another blueberry lavender, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Wait, what? Always question with the Q. Questions help us learn things new. Question marks are very cool, especially when you're in school. Always question when you try, you'll find